All right, back with another planche and deep push day. Today I'm gonna focus on my presses because I want them to get stronger, along with the holds. So holds and presses all the way. And people often ask me, like, what exercise should I do first? For example, if I want to get front lever stronger on my back day, should I do, this exercise or that exercise? Should I do muscle ups? And the truth is, well, if you want something to get stronger, you just have to do that something a lot and a lot and then some more, until you get better. Because if you, for example, want to get strong at the planche, and you say, well, first I'm going to get, a good basis and I'm going to do a lot of dips and I'm going to do pull-ups. Well, that's fine. But at some point, you're going to have to do the planche itself, to get better at it. Like, if you just keep allowing yourself to make an excuse of, oh, I'm going to do something else to get better at what I actually want to do, well, then I think you're a bit lying to yourself, right? Because I think deep down, like, if you want to get better at something, you just have to practice it. So that's would be my number one advice. If you are like wondering how should I structure my training, structure the training around the exercise that's most important to you. If you want to get strong at the planche, the hold, structure your training around the planche hold. If you want to get better at the press, structure your training at the press. And that's all there's to it. I mean, there's some other things, that I want to say about this as well. I'll do it later on in the video. Make sure to add some chapters. But, pretty much, it also comes down to get good at something, you have to do it. So now I'll do my first set. Like I said, I want to do some holds and some presses. So I'm going to combine the both in one set, put on some good music, and basically go until I can't no more. We'll see how many sets it becomes in the end. I don't know yet. All right. All right, so looking back at those presses, I'm still bending my arm almost every time, right? Especially the left arm, which is just a sign of weakness. So for me, the press and the hold have always been a weak part. And, I'm not a perfect guy. So like the weak points, the stuff that's weak, that you're weak on, that's hard to do, you tend to avoid it, right? So for me, I've always kind of been leaning towards the push-up, which is why I bend my arm on the planche sometimes. And now that I'm gaining weight, it's even getting worse. So that just means that I have to do like a quick reset, take a step back, and focus on what's important. Because if you're training, and you're not seeing the progress you want, even if you're progressing in other areas, right, then you're doing something wrong. So, like oftentimes, the answer to what should I do first in my training is, well, what do you want to improve the most? So I'm gonna do a couple more sets of presses here, move on to bands after that, do more presses, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, I have a lot of work to do. All right, that was set number 5. Okay, I'm gonna do one last unassisted set. Let's see if we can stimulate some endurance work with doing some rest pauses. 2 seconds hold plus a press. And 3 times that will be nice. All right. Quick rest. All right. The hold is not happening anymore. One more press. Right. That's how you get stronger, you know? You go past your limits. All right, moving on to some planche presses and holds assisted. Sardonic remixes are playing in the background. No way this can go wrong. Right. Fuck! Let's move on to some push-ups with even more assistance. Time for some push-ups and then we move on to dips. All right, so these planche push-ups, right? I love doing them, but they're not my main goal at the moment. So what's important is to realize that, well, in the beginning of your training, you have the most energy to spend. And the way you get better is to spend a lot of energy on the things you want to get better at. So in that case, I do the presses which have a higher priority, the holds. I do them first. That way, you know, I can get a good training, a good stimulus for that specific, you know, exercise that I want to get good at. And then after that, when I did what I had to do, I still have some time to play around, right? It's not like you always have to train exactly for your specific goals. You can do other stuff as well. In fact, it's going to help you because, you know, you can treat it like accessories, and accessories are always good. Different stimulus, injury prevention, so on and so forth. So, you know, just make sure that if you have a specific goal in mind, you know, train for that specific goal first, and then you can spend energy on other things as well. But keep in mind as well, the things you spend energy on after your main goal take energy as well, then you have to recover from that. So that's why, you know, these planche push-ups, the dips I'm about to do, I do a very limited amount because I do want to get the stimulus, but I also want to make sure that I recover correctly. So anyway, like I said, now we're moving on to dips. Today was a very good planche training already, so I'm very tired. But, you know, sometimes you have these moments, especially when you have some good tunes playing in the background, that you just realize that it's a fucking mindset. And it sounds corny, but hey, if I'm going in these dips, 20 reps with 70 kilo is my goal. If I go in these dips telling myself I can't do it, well, guess what? I won't be able to do it. But if I tell myself that I'm going to be able to do it, if I just believe in myself that I'll be able to dash out all the power I have, I might just have a fighting chance. So, it doesn't have anything to do with the thing I was saying before, but sometimes, I just think about that. So, and then I start yapping. So anyway, I'll move on to dips now. Long warm up as always, and then just one set, balls to the wall. Whew. All right, warm up done. Let's go for 20 reps. Fuck. All right. Looks like I'm gonna have to let this rest for a bit before challenging again. Whew. 17 though. 17. All right, gotta be honest here. Even though it's a PR, I'm not entirely happy with that set because I feel like, I wasn't completely in the zone. I just wasn't there. So, although it's a PR, I could have done better. I believe, like today, if I had the perfect mindset, I could have gotten 20. So, you lose some, and when you lose, you learn, right? You lose some, you win some, and then you learn. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So next time, I'm gonna try these 70 kilo dips. It's gonna be 20 reps or more, for sure. And in the meantime, just have to make sure that my body is, rested properly. But anyway, nonetheless, very good pump, as always. Sorry, the neighbor's cat came by. I was distracted. What was I trying to say? Yeah, today very good flash training, very good deep training as well. Can't be sad in the end, but next time we'll do better for sure. Which is alike for every movement, right? You do the movement, and then you improve upon it the next time. But what I just want to say at the end here is, I get a lot of questions. Like I mentioned it in the beginning, like, which movements should I do first? Which split should I do? What do you recommend for beginners? And the truth is, many of these things, you're thinking about them in your head, but the gains don't happen in your head, I mean, it's a mental game as well, I get that, but that's more like the mindset you have going into training. Like just thinking about training and not training at all is not going to get you gains. If you have all these questions of, which movements should I do first? Like which splits should I do? Experiment, right? Should you do A or B? I don't know. It's different for everyone. You have these general principles, right? Like you can do such amount of volume, if you do a lot of volume, your frequency might have to be a bit lower, or your intensity might have to be a bit lower. But generally, if you have a goal and you work towards it, try a bunch of different stuff out. If your goal is to do a planche hold, try a bunch of different planche trainings and try switching around the exercises. Because yes, you can ask me, like, what should I do? And I can give a response, like, based on, the information I have, but that's just theory, that's just in my head. That's just in your head. It doesn't mean anything if you don't go out and train. And by going out and training, that's where you will find your answers. So it's good that you're thinking about, what should I do to progress? Because that's, you're asking yourself questions you're going to eventually find the answers to. But once again, the answers lie in the training itself. You can ask yourself all these questions, but if you don't go out there, and answer them for yourself, then it doesn't have any meaning, because there is so much information, so much advice on the internet, and basically until you've tried it yourself, until you've tried the advice that you're listening to yourself, you shouldn't regard it as true or false. Everyone has their own true and false. It's different, right? You have these general principles, yes, but someone else's truth is someone else's false. It's just the way it is. So if someone tells you like, oh, you absolutely have to do it this way, that's bullshit. It's different. Yes, you can try his advice, and then if it works for you, great. Then you should do that. But if it doesn't, no big deal, right? There is so many other ways to do things. So there is no like real one answer to, some of these questions of, which exercise should I do first, And it will change all the time which exercise you will do first, because like what I say this all the time, your training continues, your goals, will change as your body changes, as your strength improves, as you get bigger, right? So that's just me yapping about that. But anyway, today was good training. Can't complain at all, because I guess I didn't mention this. And now the other cat is here as well. She's so cute. She's a bit shy. She doesn't like me yet, but yeah. Anyway, I was 72.5 kilos today, which is like 2 kilos heavier than yesterday, right? Now, the reason that is just because I had a birthday party yesterday, and usually I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates. Like, I have my meat, I have my eggs, sometimes some fish, and then I have some fruits. And basically, the fruits are all my carbohydrates. So I don't really hold a lot of water. But when I go to a birthday party, they made Arabic food, which was really good, but it has a lot of carbohydrates as well. And I had some cake as well. So now I'm just bloated to shit. But that means like today's training, the planche, 2 kilos heavier, and it wasn't bad, right? It's not like my performance got worse compared to last time. So I'm actually really looking forward to the next trainings. And 72.5 kilos, that's like the heaviest I've ever been. I think the peak on my previous bulk, I was like 72.4 kilos for a week. And that was like really stuffing myself. And now I just had one birthday party and I reached that. So I'm very happy. Anyway, yeah, that's it regarding the bulk. Tomorrow I'll discuss that a bit, like the bulk, how you should approach it. Because like getting bloated is not really good, right? But that's for tomorrow. Now I'm gonna get showered and have some food. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.